Is it traveling?
Welcome everyone to a trip down Stoner Drive. I am your host Shag Wellenbolt, or you can call me Shaggy. Zoinks, zoinks. And this is a platform to tell people stories about how cannabis has positively or maybe even negatively affected their lives. I don't care if you're a patient, a brand, a distribution, an athlete, a politician. If you have a story to tell, I want to hear it. So hopefully this gives you an educating and entertaining look behind the scenes of the booming cannabis industry. And if you like my videos, please give a like and subscribe to my YouTube. Also go to my website, shagwellensway.com, to get your shaggy swag and rock the clothes that you see in my videos. That's the attention she's food. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Shag Wellen, or Shaggy, and this is a trip down Stoner Drive. And today I'm just so blessed. I am in Vegas shooting the Travel Stoner Guide, and I'm just awesome because I'm here with Deep Roots, a local dispensary, and they've just been so helpful. I came by, bought some bud, and then I was just like, hey, I want to come by, do a little interview with some people, and they were just extremely helpful. So we got a lineup today, and first I am with Matt.
Yep, I'm Matt Jans, Director of Marketing for Deep Roots Harvest.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it. So we're going to do marketing, we're going to do managers, maybe some bud tenders, and maybe a patient or two. We'll see. So really just stoked. So how long have you been a part of Deep Roots?
So been with Deep Roots now for about 2.5 years. I've been in the industry for about a decade out here.
Nice. And then Deep Roots is not just a single location. You have multiple locations in Nevada, and then are you also multi-state as well? Or
so our parent company is Vireo. They have dispensaries all across the country, West Coast to East Coast. But for Deep Roots itself, we have 6 total stores, 4 of which are in the Las Vegas Valley. So Henderson, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas. And then we have some stores that are kind of on the border. One's in Mesquite and one's in West Wendover.
Okay,
So
nice.
Super spread out.
I love that. And then how did you get started with Deep Roots?
So I had formerly worked for a company called The Source. They needed help back again. You know, they basically were going through, some business challenges, and I was able to come through and help them with that. Deep Roots Harvest did acquire The Source. I think I want to say December of 2024 is when it fully closed, or October, October 2024. And was lucky enough that they brought me on their team, and have been fortunate enough to have, been able to take over the helm for both sides of the business, the Source side and the Deep Root side as well. And it's a phenomenal team. All of the originators of Deep Roots are Nevada local business people. Mm-hmm. They've been really impactful in building the entire city just overall. And now, obviously putting their hand in something that we really, really love, which is cannabis. So yeah, super, super thankful to be part of the team and be able to make it with the transition.
Awesome. And I love that hearing, because I've been a part of a dispensary, and luckily I was already gone, but they got bought out. And then they're like, we're going to keep everybody. And 3 months later, cut like half the staff. And so it's really important, because I don't think a lot of these companies understand that a lot of the reasons you have regulars is because of the bud tenders and the people that are there. The products bring people in, but a lot of the discounts and prices are going to be very similar to other dispensaries. And so just building that connection is very important. So it's really cool that they kept you on during that transition and past the transition.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that connection is key. And not that I'm downplaying any of our strategic pricing or offerings, but dispensaries pretty much have the same product, roughly the same price. What the difference is the experience. Yep. And not for locals a flashy, glitz and glamour experience, but a true authentic connection. That we feel that the best way to connect to customers is to make sure that they feel represented behind the counter, that we are matching the communities that we serve, and that we're actually looking to serve them and help them, not upsell, not push products, really listen to their needs. That's one of the differences that we have at Deep Roots and the Source, is we have floor advisors. So we have people that are on the floor looking to educate customers and make sure that they understand, what products work really well for them. And then, much to what you're saying, they end up having a favorite bud tender. They go just to see them because they know that what they're going to recommend is going to be fire and work really well for them. So I think that community aspect is extremely critical, like especially if you're looking for long-term business, and you're not having short-sighted strategies.
Yeah, no, I think it's very important. And if you just look at, I mean, what's already been established before as bars is people like to go to their favorite bartender. They go to their favorite spot. And so when once you build that trust, they really won't look other ways. Like you have the customers that are going for the first time patient deals at all of them bouncing around. But once you have a connection with one or two people, like you got a regular for a long, long time.
No, for sure.
Now with marketing in the cannabis side, it is a little challenging. You have different regulations. What have you found to be a struggle that you've overcome like during this?
Yeah, so I think, in the past decade, there's a lot of talk, about cannabis marketing roadblocks. And, where I think that we've really figured out and found our pace is going around them, under them, or over top them. Whereas, it may have been a struggle before, we're everywhere. We're on broadcast TV. We're on KTNV and ABC affiliate here right before VGK games, which is our hockey team. So mainstream exposure there. We're on, OTT linear TV as well. So your Samsung TVs, your Vizio TVs, your Fox, you name it, we're on TV. We have meta ads, Facebook and Instagram we're pushing. We have SEM with Google AdWords. So a lot of those roadblocks, there's creative solutions around them, there and all kinds of ways to, accomplish the same thing. And that's realistically, looking at alternative solutions for those mainstream opportunities. So was a lot more challenging, but nowadays, I mean, you could pretty much get the majority of mainstream advertising that you're looking for. There's some stuff that's hard and not available. We can't advertise on Hulu. We can't advertise on Spotify, Pandora, that kind of a thing. But everything else is pretty much within reach at this point.
Absolutely. And I think it's smart to focus on that and get in front of people because you have to be found is a big thing I've learned. And then also, even when you're big, you still want to focus on marketing. A lot of people think, oh, once my name's out there, like I'm good. But McDonald's spends $1 billion a year on marketing every year. Everybody in the world knows what McDonald's is, yet they still spend it because they want you to hear 200 ads every day of just subtle hints. And so when you're driving home, you're like, you know what, I'll pick up the fries. And so it's just so important when it comes to sales. Yeah.
And the reality is you have to be salient on the consumer's mind. And it seems, one of the things like the most offensive, but back-ended comments that people say that are outside of the industry often is, it's not hard to sell cannabis. And I'm like, with massive price compression, customers having enumeration of options where they can go with the price compression to benefit, it's really a buyer's market. It is hard to convince people that we're the right dispensary to stick to and to be loyal to, and having consistent messaging out there that pushes that is really helpful. We do a lot of unique things in terms of customer engagement. We do month-long campaigns where we really focus on being more than just a shopping experience. We want it to actually be fun and engaging. We've done things like a holiday summer getaway, with a couple brands out here. Right now, we're doing a slow release advent calendar. So every day customer comes in, it's a brand new deal. Last month we did something super unique. We did kind of like a Kohl's Cash style. You got $25 off your purchase of 125 or more from the 1st to the 22nd. Just had to come in the 23rd to the 30th to redeem. So we try to make it a special experience. We try to make it more than just a shopping experience. Our staff is at the forefront of that, but in order to continue to have business and to gain momentum, we have to be in front of the customers.
Absolutely. I also loved, I saw you guys do some community work as well. So you just did a food drive where how much food did you guys collect for?
I honestly don't remember off the top of my head, but it was quite a bit.
I absolutely love that. And it's so smart. It's just a way to give back because that's what you want to do is you want to support the community that supports you. And so, my Eagle project back in the day, I was an Eagle Scout and it was a food drive. And so seeing other people do that. Now I saw the food drive. Is there any other charities or things you're working on right now?
I don't have the full list, but we just recently donated to, I think, 3 or 4 veteran charities during November. Obviously, there's Veterans Day, but we really wanted to focus on giving back to that community. So I think it's 3 or 4 different ones, and tried to focus on the different communities we serve, veterans organizations in Vegas and Mesquite and West Wendover, so that we weren't excluding anybody and making sure to help the entire state if we could, a little bit.
Absolutely. That's so smart. Now we got a few different products and
Yes.
we can have them go, but so I see a pre-roll, some new edibles. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about each of the brands or?
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's 3 brands that are internal for us. We have Camp. Camp is our premium brand. It's really built on being the first solventless cart in Nevada. We really focused on having a clean experience. For us, it starts with great flower. That's really and everybody that's into, hash or extraction understand that good product in, usually as long as you have a good process, means good product out.
Mhm.
And so we really focused on growing really greasy genetics for the rosin that we were, washing and pressing. And so Camp is that high-end brand that's focused on premium quality, really great exotic genetics. We have a phenomenal cultivation team that, pushes and works hard to get new genetics in. We're constantly, there's even like a genetic steering committee rather that we have on the team. So we also have rosin infused gummies. So it's
I love
another
seeing
kind
that.
of nice opportunity for customers that, don't want, a disty edible or even, a BHO edible. They want something that has none of those solvents in it. So
I'm not the biggest on edibles just
Yep.
because I have a higher tolerance, but what I do love skiing is the rosin or the live resins because you got to use more of the cannabinoids, just
Yes.
the THC. So I do love that you guys are doing more of that.
Yep. And then the Neon Moon line is, if you're looking at good, better, best is our better line. This particular is a live resin gummy. So again, higher quality opportunity for the customer and a lot of really good flavors across the board in terms of our edibles. That's one of the things that we really focus on is it's like when you go to buy a couch, you sit on it and make sure it's comfortable. We want to make sure that when you're getting your edible, it's delicious and a tasty experience from start to finish. And then High Heads is our, good brand out of the 3, good, better, best. A lot of fun flavors. This is much more like an affinity to, and I hate to use the term, but there's no better term to describe it, but much more like stoner culture, like really being fun, irreverent, silly. The cloud guy on there is Puffy. He shows up hidden in all kinds of advertisements we have. We really wanted something that wasn't so serious. Like the cannabis industry and evolution of the cannabis industry has obviously been a ton of corporatization. That's really tight, and people are trying to, be the Apple stores of cannabis and be super, super rigid. This was the opportunity for us to completely do the opposite.
I love
We
it.
want it to be, just like an experience that we used to have. We've all come from that original space, I think a lot of consumers at least. And, we didn't have sophisticated looking packaging that came out of a
Oh, yeah.
box and, butterflies came out.
Or
and-
Ziploc
Yeah,
bags,
that's it,
occasionally
yeah.
a cigarette pack that they like light on fire to do. You
Yep,
know?
and your edibles came in like bulk, and
Yep.
it was a completely different experience. So we have really 3 different opportunities for the customer. The customer that seeks that really true high quality product with Camp, that's a great opportunity. Solventless everything, solventless gummies, disposables, and then actual dabbable rosin as well. Neon Moon is all live resin as well, live resin gummies, live resin concentrates, live resin carts, disposables, and flower options as well. And then, High Heads is just that traditional distillate gummy, but it's super flavorful, super fun. We really try to make sure that there's something for everybody that comes into the stores.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that. Also, for anybody that is here, you can comment what you're smoking on, where you're from. But we are not allowed to consume. We are on property, and so again with marketing, you just got to know your limits and where you can do. And so I'm blessed to be able to have these interviews with all the staff. And but yeah, unfortunately, won't be consuming now. But that's where you join my daily videos or my other ones and my other podcasts. So, what is your favorite product that you guys carry in the store?
Favorite product that we carry in the store is definitely a dabbable rosin. I'm a hash head. I often visit, either Denver or San
Nice.
Diego. If I'm lucky enough, it's hard to get out there, but like San Francisco, I really fell in love with a lot of the high quality, your Calia, your 710 Labs. Like 710 Labs has just been so consistent, especially like in Colorado specifically. They seem to have some extra magic. Your Papa Select, like I just once you it's like the tasting the forbidden fruit.
Absolutely.
Once you have that insanely terpy, just mouth watering dab, or even if you're hitting out of the Puffco, and then you get that extremely like clear high. That's one of the things I love about rosin. Like if it's done right, tastes phenomenal, and there's complete functionality. I could be ripped on rosin and go in public and not have a panic attack.
Yep.
On Disty or live resin, maybe freak out.
And as you can see, my little tree is a little decoration, but I got my student glass gravity.
Nice. Okay.
So that's a decorative. Did a little video the other day. But yeah, gotta stay festive.
Yeah.
Things are coming by in an RV. You gotta be multifunctional as well. So
that's awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. We're gonna bring on some of the other staff, but what do you think makes Deep Roots Harvest different than some of the other dispensaries?
I think really putting the customer first. When we wake up, and this comes from the VP of Growth, Jace. This has really been one of the things that he's imparted to us, and it's critical. Is whenever we wake up, how can we serve the customer better? That's the mindset every single day. Is how do we have a better experience with the customer, which means putting ourselves in the customer's shoes. When they're coming to a dispenser, what are they looking for? What do they need to hear? What don't they need to hear? What resonates with them and is going to be most effective? And like, how do we actually help them? So I think having that be at the core of our mission, really, and a lot of people say they're customer centric, but we're really that's the challenge. The big boss has asked us, I want you to wake up every day and ask yourself how you can better serve the customer. And that has made a world of difference because that allows us to engage with them on a deeper level, to understand them on a deeper level, and ultimately connect with them at a deeper level, which is what the goal is.
I absolutely love that. And it makes sense. And unlike other products for marketing, our clientele is so vast and so different. It's not like, okay, sports, I can target mostly guys like from this age range or whatever, or different products. It's like cannabis. You have fresh 18-year-olds with their med cards all the way up to your grandma and grandpas. And it's really cool because once you build that connection, just one quick little story is I used to live next in a La Jolla, so it was like a nicer area. And so a lot of my neighbors were older people. And so we had this couple next to us that were Marsha and Ray, and very nice people, but in their like 70s. So it was just, hey, how's it going? Whatever. One Christmas, her granddaughter gave her a gummy. She comes into the dispensary not knowing I work there or anything. I'm like, Ray, Marsha, how you doing? Got her gummies. Then it went, hey, your gummies are in. Text him we gave him a little clone and he started growing and asking us. And so it was so cool to seeing the relationship from somebody that was just passing, hey, how's it going, to becoming almost like adopted grandparents because of a plant, because of a gummy.
Yeah.
Like,
we got to talk to other people, but one story that always sticks in my head that's really speaks to kind of the community and like really what should be our why is, 10 years ago, we were a medical only market. And I had a patient that would come in. There's these, they don't exist anymore, but there's a brand called Troche. They had lozenges. So it was sublingual absorption, rapid onset, 15 minutes usually at the most. And this guy had Parkinson's, and he came through and he was convulsing. And he's like literally convulsing at the counter while I'm serving him. And he's buys 40 of these lozenges because they work so well. And he asks me, he's like, can I take one right now? And I'm like, no, you can't in the bathroom. And when he came out, by the time he walked out of the door, he stopped shaking. Yep. And that kind of a thing is what really should be driving us, like connecting with somebody that you just had as a neighbor that didn't have any idea about cannabis, tried it, found it to be super effective, and then you built like a legitimate relationship with them.
Yeah.
That's what the industry should be about. Like, that is customer centric. It's like actually caring about the people enough to establish a real relationship with them and actually provide them with benefit, which I think that's like at the core of what cannabis is. It increases quality of life.
Yes.
So I love it. That's an awesome story, man. That's
cool.
I
love it. And that just focuses so much of what the industry is, and it's just helping people. And even though our culture is, we add the funny, the goofy, because it allows you to be a kid, but it's making people feel better and quality of life, like you said. Yep. So I really appreciate do you want to shout out where people can follow you or find you, or just shout out something about Deep Harvest?
Yeah, I mostly post terrible fart videos, but definitely follow us on social, Deep Roots Harvest Envy and the Source Envy as well. Instagram's always shadow banning us, so best way to take a look is deeprootsharvest.com and thesourceenvy.com as well.
There you go. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
Really nice meeting you.
And I'll grab Haley next.
Perfect. So, we have Haley coming on next. That is a GM of Deep Roots Harvest. So Matt is behind the scenes. He's in marketing. He's everything you see, the community events, all the things that are engaging. And then Haley's going to be the one that helps the bud tenders, supports them while they. Oh, here we go. Perfect. A little tricky.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like any water or anything?
If you have water would be awesome. No worries. Thank you. Perfect. It's just as cool on the inside as it is on the
Thank
outside.
you.
Yeah, great
So,
job.
yeah, it took 2 years to build out. Just every other week, me and one guy would just, all right, here's the next project. I'd pay him in hash and cash. But now it's all wrapped on the outside. So the outside was just like, I had a broken window. It just like, it looked bad. And so people never thought anything of the inside while I was building out. And as soon as I was done, I was like, now we can draw attention.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is a cool project.
Well, I appreciate it. Welcome. And Haley, you're the GM of Deep Roots here at Parkson. How long have you been with the company and then also in the industry?
Yeah, so I started in the industry as soon as we were medical. I was 21, which was awesome because it aligned with everything going rec. And I started actually at the source. I did about 7 years with the source, and then we combined with Deep Roots, and I jumped on the train for Deep Roots. It's wonderful. They're a great company. And I think they do just a really good job representing the community, which is what I was really stoked for. But before I went into legal cannabis, my family is from Humboldt County, from Colorado. So
always around.
It was kind of in my blood. My family has a long line of growing history. So I was happy to be, how some people say like the first in their family to go to college. I was the first in my family to do legal cannabis.
There you go. And so were you working on a grow a lot? Do you like to grow yourself?
So my stepdad that raised me, he was really big into growing. He was the first in like his group to kind of get into hydroponics. So I was raised around cannabis, on harvest days. I'd go with my dad and do some trimming, curing. It was not unnormal to me by any means. And I do have some love for growing, but now I got kids of my own and stuff, and I keep it pretty by the book,
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you switch more retail side. What kind you wanted to get in front of people and on that side? Yeah.
So I before I got into cannabis, I started in luxury retail. Okay. So that's kind of where I had like my management journey start and progress pretty fast. I worked for a big French company, and they took me under their belt and kind of taught me anything that I needed to know. And I was able to translate that to cannabis. I started pretty low level as like a teller, bud tender, as they say, and then was able to kind of climb the ladder into the position that I'm in now. And I couldn't be happier. It's definitely the best of both worlds. You're on the operations side, you're also dealing with customers, but getting pulled more for those moments that like really have impact, which is why I got it in the first place is the medical side of the entire industry was what really pulled my heartstrings.
Absolutely. I love it. I used to bud tend and was a manager at a shop in San Diego. And there's moments I miss it because I do love being with the patients and actually connecting with them. But I do like being more on the marketing side and like showing brands how to reconnect with the patients and things like that. So you've been with Deep Roots Harvest during the transition. I really like that they kept a lot of the staff a part of it and really brought them into the positions they are. I worked at a dispensary where they were bought out and they said they would, but then after 2 or 3 months, they cut pretty much all the managers, half the staff, and it was a whole new face in there. So I like seeing the transition. How was the transition for you to go from the source to Deep Roots?
It was so smooth. I mean, when you go through like a big acquisition like that, it's a very lengthy process, right? So there's a lot of adjusting. For me as a manager, there's a lot of just reassuring my staff that things were going to be okay. And I think that Deep Roots really made that easy. Like you said, they kept on our staff, which was so phenomenal because there's been other major buyouts within the industry where it's a complete opposite. So just showing them that they cared, I think really brought those employees into the brand and what we're doing over here at Deep Roots. And it's been phenomenal. I mean, everything goes through structural changes and whatnot, but it's never been anything negative. Only bettering the company for sure, which is phenomenal to see at this point of the industry.
I love to hear that. And about how many people do you have on staff, or at least here? I know in Deep Roots there's a lot, but for your store.
So my store, we actually are a baby store. We just opened in March. We're one of the first stores over in this Old Henderson area. And we have about 18 employees, including management. So as we branch out and, bring on delivery or any other forms of service, that'll probably expand. But right now we're just a little team of 18.
Oh, I love it because it allows also the regulars and customers to have their person. Because regulars love to do that. I mean, in the cannabis industry, I've had people wait, like when a free register's open, they're like, no, I'll just wait for them. And so you build that connection because of the trust. Now we also have some of the products that you guys have like launched and are trying. What are some of your favorite brands that you guys have, and why do you like them?
Yeah, so when I first started with the Source, I mean, we went through the ringer as any other company with products, right? So to see even distillate come as far as it has been amazing. I'm sure you've been in the industry for a while and remember when like distillate pens were like dark black, like almost tar.
Yep, and there was no live resin, there's no other cannabinoids, it was just distillate.
Yeah, it was like, are you getting an eighth or are you getting a half gram disposable? So I am so proud of High Heads and, the terpenes that they throw into their pens and the quality of flower they come from, period. It's a really great base level entry into the buying experience. And then you have Neon Moon, which is our live resin experience. If people are looking for a little bit more elevated, but they're not quite like Hash Heads just yet, this is a great place. We do, concentrate, disposables, edibles, anything live resin that you can think of for Neon Moon, they do it. And then my favorite, my baby, because I was kind of there when, it all started, was definitely Camp. Being, a little bit more health conscious. I love just the cleanliness of it. It's like that top tier connoisseur type of brand. I was pressing rosin in a t-shirt press with my friends when I was in high school, and to see that just elevated on like a huge scale and still have so much love and care behind it has been wonderful. I smoke a couple of different rosins throughout town, and I'd say Camp is one of my favorites. The strains they pull from, it translates. Good flower, good rosin. So Camp is some of my favorite.
Very important. And one thing I've noticed with you guys, what I like seeing at each state is how they do the testing and everything. A lot of brands, some of them, they have to put it on their packaging. I do like that you guys create labels for each of those to break down the different cannabinoids, the different terpenes in there, and just important to give to the customers.
I come from a California market too. I have a lot of family out there, and when I was a baby medical patient, you go out there and you're using your natural terpene receptors, which is so important, right? To be able to look at the bud, smell the bud, and really resonate with that. Because if you like the way it looks, if you like the way it smells, you're probably going to like your high.
Yeah, exactly.
And here it's a little different, right? It's closed off. Even some brands you can't see flower. You're really just going off those testings. So it's one thing I am proud that Nevada kind of provides for their patients, because we can kind of derive what way they want to go before we just hand them the highest THC.
Yeah.
It puts a little bit more meaning behind it, right? Like the terpene profiles.
Absolutely. And you guys are very community based and focused. Are there any programs you're running right now or deals that you're really proud of or want to talk about?
Oh man. So we just did the food drive, which was phenomenal. You would have been, shocked. We had just as much cans as we do product in our store. It was crazy. And it was cool to see that, because a lot of the food banks around us use the same program that we donated to, which was phenomenal. We do things throughout the year all the time that contribute to local charities out here, which I love that we're continuing to do so. But I think our deals are probably the spiciest of what we do. We stay really competitive in the game, and we try and make it really fun for our customers. We run our everyday deals that are going to be that base of what the customer can rely on. Even if they come in the next month, they know that they can get the same type of pricing of what they got the previous month. And then we rotate our deals too. We do like a little 2-2-3 cadence is what we
Mm-hmm.
call it. Just to expose other brands, maybe something like like Nature's Chemistry that isn't always on sale, but we give it its little highlight moment so that a customer can experience that. And then we are doing something really fun for December right now. It's an advent calendar of deals where every day we expose a new deal on a different brand where a customer can kind of be surprised in the morning and like look forward to what's to come for the rest of the month.
A little mystery.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
that. It's wild. I haven't heard of the advent calendar until this year for cannabis, and now I've seen like a couple brands do it. But I love it because it gives variety. Back when I used to be with brands, we would do patient appreciation days and come in and do little demonstrations and stuff like that. Are you guys able to do that in Nevada? Or
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So way back when we would do little cannabis sessions. So we would put a poster up and people would come in and be able to learn about edibles or about RSO or whatever. I thought that was a really great program. Customers really liked it. They were able to expand their knowledge. And yeah, for our regulars, we're always hooking them up, doing little fun things for them. And then this month, actually one of our GMs came up with the idea and it's so phenomenal. We're picking some of our top customers and giving them little appreciation gift or holiday cards and stuff.
That.
Yeah, just a little personal touch. We like to keep it like tried and true to the community.
Yeah.
We don't want to be just that other dispensary that you just happen to drive by and stop in to get a $10 pre-roll.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be the dispensary that you come into every day and your budtender's name, they're going to get you some good product, they're going to hook you up on a deal, and you're taken care of. You don't have to question that this eighth is going to be great or not because your budtender has that experience and that personalized recommendation and kind of sculpt it to you and what you like.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And being in Vegas, you get a lot of flashy with some spots. Like I've been to the Plant 13 and I've been to Nuo and I enjoy those. You have the lounge and stuff. And with you guys, you don't have a lounge, so it's more that communication and that community.
Mm-hmm.
So I love seeing that because you guys do have really good deals. And I mean, the way I picked you guys to go to is I do Yelp reviews and other things like that because they can at least give me a basis. So, so seeing the community and you guys are one of the highest rating in here in Vegas.
That's
so
awesome.
I think it just shows tremendously the community that you guys have built and stay true to providing for the customers.
Yeah.
So we talked about product, everything. What was some challenges you've being a GM that you didn't quite see like before you entered the position that you've had to overcome?
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, like the stigma of our budtenders, right? You walk into a dispensary and you think everyone's just going to be like that lazy stoner type of, not much care, and really breaking it down to the customers and trying to, you never want to prove a customer wrong, but prove them wrong in the sense that like we're more than that. Like I have grown up smoking cannabis since I was 12 and which is crazy to say, but I have been doing this for a long time and we're able to have a completely different life. We're able to function throughout society still. Like I'm a mom, I have 2 kids. I'm still able to be a great mom and utilize cannabis for, what it's intended to do, which is help my body and continue on with my life normally, just like anyone else.
And it's fine if you don't want to talk about, but my mom used cannabis during her pregnancy and during childhood. And so I think it's fantastic. It helps with a lot of things. Did you use any products like during that time or?
The most that I used
or that
was
might have
like,
helped.
Yeah. So I wish I was the type of person where like that would have been maybe like a relief for me. But it wasn't what I wanted it to be. My first pregnancy, I was really, really sick. I used a very, very low THC CBD strain, high CBD strain, maybe one time, and just realized very fast it wasn't for me. It wasn't helping me, not get sick and vomit or anything. What I really got relief was from the topicals.
That's what I've heard a lot for
on my sciatica.
Oh my
back
goodness. Pain, hip pain, joint pain.
The way that your body moves when you're pregnant is so painful and intense. And that was one thing that gave me a lot of relief. I actually used one of our brands. It's called Escape Artist. They had a 1-to-1 topical where it was like 800 milligrams of THC and CBD, and it was paired with lavender. So, I even brought it into the delivery room with me just to have that calming sense.
Yeah.
After I had kids, I thought I was going to jump right on my same tolerance level, able to function the same way that I was prior. And oh my gosh, it changes so much.
Yeah.
I think just being a woman and like learning how to navigate your hormones is a lot, right? And then learning to navigate your hormones while you're trying to use like a controlled substance is even more of a challenge. And I realized that, I couldn't smoke an eighth every 2 days. Like I had to really limit it to snapper bowls or, a couple hits of a pre-roll for a while until I got a little bit more regulated and was able to control my height better.
Awesome.
A lot of like limits and knowing yourself when
I think that's very important is understanding your tolerance and also just understanding your body, listen to your body and everything. But yeah, I've heard the rubs have done fantastic for people. So and even
good.
some bath bombs I've heard.
Yeah, I have a couple girlfriends that use bath salts that I don't know if they're still out here, but there was a couple of brands that did that and they said it was phenomenal.
I was even using it just for aches and pains and stuff. I highly recommend it for people. So the New Year's coming. Do you have any new products that are coming out that you can talk about? I know these are some of the brands. Do you have any brand or product you're really excited about?
Oh man, I know that Camp is introducing some new strains into their grow, which I'm so excited about. I love flower, and when we can get some new genetics in the mix that are just as great as things that we were producing previously, like that excites me. I know when we came together as companies, we had a lot of brands to choose from. And I think right now it's just a time for us to limit the ones that really are impactful on our customers, and that we take pride in. So right now we're in that phase and doing some really cool new things with strains.
Absolutely. I love that. I used to work for an edible company, and one thing we failed at is we had too many products, too many strains at a time, or too many drinks. And so I really recommend new brands that are coming out is perfect your 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Have that perfected where absolutely it's going to sell out every time, and then add seasonal ones. If the seasonal does really good one year, try it again. If it does really good the second one, then add it to your lineup. But
I agree.
Don't waste a bunch of money just going too big.
Yeah, what I really liked previously, High Heads, the gummies, they were just, hybrids. You could get a couple different flavors. They were just hybrids, and they introduced ratios to them, and they're phenomenal. I always enjoyed them, but now specifically this guy that has CBN, I love it. I eat 2 before I go in bed, and I don't wake up with that groggy hangover that I might with some other brands. So the ratios are phenomenal. Just like the terpenes, cannabinoids are just as easy to educate your guest on and make their experience that much more elevated.
Yeah, I love that. Now, just so people can learn a little bit about you, sometimes people have other passions. I've noticed, especially in the cannabis industry, besides cannabis. Yeah. Is there anything you work on, music, anything like that, or just more being a mom and crazy busy with that?
No. So I definitely have an entrepreneurial mindset. Me and my husband, we got a horse trailer, and we are renovating that horse trailer to be a mobile bar. So similar to you and your RV that you have here. And then we actually just made our first big purchase for the company. We got a tap truck. So yeah, my hope is, to provide events and stuff with their alcohol needs, but also branch off. I think, there's a lot of cool mocktail situations you can do. And I've seen a lot of people in the cannabis industry include terpene beverages or, maybe more canna friendly events into their mix as well. And I'm really looking forward to provide that and give back to the industry.
Awesome. Do you have Instagram or a website or anything where people could book you?
Yeah, absolutely. Our company is called the Tab LV. So the TAB LV. It's short for the tiny ass bar.
I love that. That's great marketing skills and great entrepreneurial.
Thank you.
Well, I really appreciate it. We're going to bring on a few more of the staff up. And then first, also, just thank you. I came a few days ago, bought some cannabis. Talked to Haley here, and she immediately connected me with the PR team. They had a schedule for me, the day, the time, provided the products to show off today. So just you guys have been so fantastic at Deep Roots, and it's just been a blessing. So.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy we could link up. I mean, I think being a local dispensary, it's a great opportunity to support creators that are up and coming, no matter what. Let's stick together and continue to build that community.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
if you're small, just reach out. The
Mhm.
worst thing anybody can say is no, we don't have time or we
Yeah.
can't do that. But otherwise, you might get some great opportunities. So
Absolutely.
thank you so
Yeah,
much,
of
Haley. I
course.
appreciate
Of course,
it.
I'm going to be sending in Leslie. She's one of my leads over here, and
Perfect.
she's phenomenal. She comes from Mesquite, so she has a good story to tell from the beginning of Deep Roots. Okay.
Awesome. So we're excited. And that's somebody just right on the front line. So these are the budtenders that are actually going to be, the people that are serving, just push it open.
Okay.
You're good. Yep. But yeah, the people that are actually going to be serving you and helping you. So this is incredible. Hey, how's it going? So this is Scooby and Riley, by the way. Shaggy.
Shaggy and Leslie.
Leslie, nice to meet you. And you are one of the leads here at Deep Roots?
I am, yes.
Awesome. And how long have you been in the industry? And then how long have you been a part of Deep Roots?
In the industry, the same amount as I've been with Deep Roots. So
Nice.
that's about 5 years now going.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Usually people don't stick with one company. So I do love saying that. And it's not a bad thing. It's just you tend to
To
transfer and move,
and move around.
or
yeah.
even things happen like the source being bought out.
Yeah.
So how was that kind of transition for you? Because you were there when it got bought out, or was it already Deep Roots?
So I was always with Deep Roots.
Okay.
So they bought out the source and then we combined and just made a
Perfect.
bigger, better team.
And what got you to get into the cannabis industry? What was intriguing about it for you?
So honestly, I was really scared and nervous at the first because I've always been in a casino. I've worked as a cocktail waitress, server, host, things like that. So I've been always in the customer service. But with dispensaries, it's a lot different in a sense with the customer interactions. It's just really nerve-wracking at first.
Is there anything you miss about more the cocktail side? And then what do you really love about the dispensary side?
So cocktail side, obviously, casinos, you're getting people, gambling, drinking, things like that. Not the best things you should, recommend, but still, I mean, it was still good to provide a service for customers and make them happy. Same thing in the dispensary coming in, you make customers happy. You help them out with their, whatever issues that they have, pain, sleeplessness, anything that you can really think of. I think cannabis can really help with it.
Awesome. And this is a new store, just really opened up recently, but you were at Mesquite store before then?
Yes, that's where I originally started, was in Mesquite.
There you
And
go.
then from there, I went to our Craig, Las Vegas location.
Mhm.
And then from there, I just kind of advanced and kept going through every process that I could go to help myself get to this point.
There you go. And so is it just more opportunities at the other shops, or why do you want to kind of hop to the new ones?
Definitely more opportunities. Like I said, our store is big. Our company is big. It keeps growing, and to have just every opportunity come up and, you try for those opportunities.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you don't get them, and that's okay. I mean, that just means that you have more to learn in that position that you're already in.
Awesome. No, I love seeing that because it's good to grow. And I love seeing when people are passionate about it growing
Yes.
and trying to push forward. So you're working with a lot of customers every day. Is there any stories that have kind of like touched you and you're like, I'm in the right industry, or like any patients you've helped?
Honestly, it happens quite often, actually. People come in and they tell you, as Haley said, they've got pain in their back, they've got pain in their chest, arms, anything that makes them move, they have that pain. And again, giving them options, especially if you give them like that entourage effect, as people say, you give them an edible, an edible is going to take a little bit to hit. So you want to give them an edible first and then let them hit a, pre-roll or vape or something. And then after they do that, add the topical. You're going to be loaded one way or another, and you're just going to feel so relaxed and better. And it's going to be so amazing when you feel that.
I love that. And being in the industry, I'm sure you've been to other dispensaries and stuff. What do you think separates Deep Roots Harvest compared to the other dispensaries in town?
Honestly, I would say definitely the customer service and the way that we approach it. We really do want to go and go above and beyond and help that customer as much as we can and give them as much relief.
Oh, once somebody is on, they're just saying Deep Roots, let's go. And then also you got a comment saying, well, Leslie is gorgeous. So there you go. You
Well,
got some
thanks.
fans. But no, it's incredible. I love that the customer service, you hear that a lot, but you see it from trickle down from the marketing to the GM to the leads. And so you guys can see that you really do care about it. And it's emphasized throughout the company. So we have a couple different brands of your guys' brands. What are some of your favorite products that you guys carry?
For me personally, I always love edibles. It's just easier for me, especially, I take them at night. As we have ratios, those are great. I definitely like having a lot of CBD in my edibles. So that definitely gives a good option for me. I tend to have insomnia, so that's what really helps me. So again, I'll do my edibles, I'll do my pre-roll, get a little bit and get that body just completely relaxed where I know I'm just going to be able to sweet soundly.
Do you have a favorite edible that you enjoy right now?
I definitely love the high heads. They're very good. I'm not completely sure if it's still, but they do have some fruit puree in them.
Okay.
So that definitely makes them taste a lot better. So you don't get so much of that weed flavor from it.
And I love I really like is you don't see a lot of artificial ingredients, a few of the dyes, but a lot of cannabis products have started to stay away from it. So if you can't really pronounce the ingredients, probably shouldn't pick that one. So I do enjoy seeing that. What are some either campaigns coming up or ones that you have done? Like I see you guys did a food drive recently. What are some of the events that you've really enjoyed that you guys have done?
I think our harvest markets are always great just because it always seems like it's a party there.
Could you tell us a little bit about, or a little more about this?
Harvest? Yeah, of course. Yeah. So basically we have one every month. We'll have it 2 days, a Friday and a Saturday for the deep roots and the source. And they're just great deals. Our whole store is usually about 30% off. We'll have certain vendors that'll be 40% off. Every customer that comes in, we'll have a food truck. We'll have some pop-ups that they can give out some little swags, or sometimes they give out batteries. Even they have samples, not a few samples, of course, but they will have samples for them. Guests just love coming in and seeing what they can get, what kind of, new items vendors are putting out there. And then obviously they love going out and getting a plate of food and they can go home and enjoy it.
Perfect. I know a lot of dispensaries do, but do you guys do like a lot of bud tender educations, or like when a new brand comes on, are they really quick to like train the staff on it? Or
yes, we do have those vendor informations that come in. They give us, if they have new product coming out as well, they'll let us know and they'll be like, hey, this is our new line coming up. They send us samples sometimes. That way we get the experience to be able to give that experience to the customer as well. And they do teach us a lot. They give us about their company and what they provide and what they really want to push forward as well.
Awesome. Now, a lot of people I've noticed in the cannabis industry, they have also side passions or things they're working on. Do you have any, like a hobby or another business or anything that you're passionate about?
Well, unfortunately, I don't. I'm a single mom, so I'm really,
busy.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yes, especially with my kids. My job here, honestly, I want to make it a career. I want to keep continue and growing here and knowing and learning everything that I can. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll come up with my own product, and hopefully help somebody out.
When you're buying as a lead bud tender, what are some things you look for when you're trying to pick out your product?
I definitely go for the terpenes, myrcene and linalool. Those are my two top favorite ones. Again, just because of that anti-inflammatory, relaxing, it's very sedative in a sense. And for me, that's usually go-tos for indicas.
What would you say to a customer? It's their first time trying cannabis and they come in. I know you probably get these couple times a week. What is your way of kind of guiding them, especially if they're a little nervous entering a dispensary? I
normally go through my top 3 questions right away. The first way is, how do they want to consume it? If they've ever consumed, what would they expect their tolerance to be, which is most of the time it's not very high. So obviously if you're recommending like an edible or something, you always want to tell them, I would probably recommend taking half of it, like 5 milligrams or so. If we're talking about flower or vapes or something like that, again, I would probably start with some small little hits, make sure you're not getting over too much. And then that way you can kind of see how you feel with those. And then the third question is just pretty much, if they have kind of like a preference of like, do they want more of a head high? Do they want to be relaxed, indica in the couch?
I just want to say thank you. That is something that I've been in dispensaries and they're so quick to recommend products before ever asking the customer about like what they're looking for.
Mhm.
And so that is the biggest thing is you got to learn the customer before you can recommend any products at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's incredible. Being a mom and being in the cannabis industry, do you deal with any stigmatisms of people are like, oh, you do that or anything like that? Or have you noticed with the past couple of years that it's becoming more accepting?
I think it's been more accepting. So I don't think I've received much more of that. And again, I'm pretty quiet, shy.
Cool.
I'm still new to the city as well. So I don't go out as often, but I'm pretty much see it everywhere, and I feel like it's been pretty well, accepted.
No, I love to see that because my mom used cannabis when I was born and stuff, but it was Virginia 30 years ago, way different. So
Yeah.
I do love seeing the progression. So somebody's watching this, they want to. Oh wait. Oh, what do I like to smoke? Okay, so I love my bong. I'm a flower. I love flower. Like the plant is just so perfect as it is I don't think we have to do too much to it. However, I do like trying everything. I
Yes.
love dabbling. So I do love dabs. I actually have our little tree is a
That's so
student
cool.
glass gravity bong that I have. So I do love dabs, especially rosin. Edibles, I don't consume very often because my tolerance, unfortunately, is very high.
Yeah.
So there's an enzyme. So even when I didn't consume as much, my tolerance was still really high for edibles. So my
Oh,
starting
wow.
point's about 700, 800 milligrams to barely feel it, where like a
Okay.
$5 joint will get me way higher than 500 milligrams of edibles will.
Yes.
And so that is one thing. So it's understanding and learning about your body. So I've actually done a marathon on 1500 milligrams, and every 5 miles had a bong rip. So every 5
Really?
miles. So that was 2 years ago. It's been a while, but yeah, it was to bring attention to that. So flower is my go-to. Jack Hair, I love sativas, sour diesel, lemon tree, super lemon haze. Give me all that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And then at night, I like a good indica, a GMO, a Kush, something like that. But
I'm
I
not
don't really
Skywalker, I'm
do.
a Scotty
Oh,
girl.
I love Skywalker. I have not seen Skywalker in so long. Honestly, that's one thing I love about traveling is some of the strains that were popular a few years ago in California
Come
are now getting here,
Yes.
which is great because now California is like every brand wants to create their own strain or their new
Mhm.
strain. So it's like, ooh, this like fruity Skittles, whatever. And I'm
Mix.
like, give me the skunks, give me the cheeses, give me
Yes.
that. And so when I'm coming out to Arizona and Nevada, they're like, ooh, we had this. Have you heard of the Mac one? I'm like, I haven't seen that in 3 years. Please give me that.
Yes.
So it's been incredible.
That's good.
But people are coming in, they want to see you, see the bud tenders. What is the best day, do you think, for people to come?
Why pick a day? Come any day.
There we
you
go.
know?
Or what are some of your favorite deals of the week?
Probably definitely Sunday through Wednesday right now. We have a $69 ounce deal and a 129 2-ounce deal on our
There you go.
DRH. So those are
So
really
that's
good.
incredible. So yeah, anything or where can people follow you or follow Deep Roots if you
Follow
don't want?
Deep Roots,
There we
please. That's
go.
where you'll find me.
Cool. I always like to give people a shout out. Well, thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much.
Leslie.
I
I really
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
And we might have one more. Let me check. I believe we have one more person. So just give me a few minutes. We'll be right back. And thank you, Jorge. Appreciate you being on. This is incredible. And as you can tell, I'm going to have some products for my daily smoke videos coming up. So thank you, everybody that's in. What are you smoking on? If you're still in the chat, I don't know if you are, but tell us where we're commenting from, what you're consuming, what you like. Also, this is so we're in Vegas. We're doing the travel stoner guide for anybody that doesn't know. Going to each city, showing the best places to buy weed, best smokes. Oh, perfect. Oh, you can just pull it. And she's friendly. Hi, I'm Shaggy.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sid.
Sid, awesome. And what is your role with Deep Roots Harvest?
I am a bud tender.
Oh, perfect. I love it. That's how long have you been in the industry?
I have been in the industry for about 5, almost 6 years now.
Awesome. And have you only been with Deep Roots or have you been with other brands beforehand?
No, I've been in different states, different companies. I've been in pretty much most of the facets of the industry,
Yeah.
packaging, the grow, and bud tending. So,
What do you like most about bud tending, or what do you like with each job?
I enjoy the ability to help people through cannabis. doing bud tending. And like the face to face interaction.
Mhm.
It's like my favorite part.
I love it. So you've been with how long have you been with Deep Roots?
I've been with Deep Roots since April.
Okay, so
Pretty
very
new.
yeah, no, it's awesome because you get to try so many new products, especially come from different areas.
Yes.
With the new products, what's been some of your favorite brands that you've enjoyed?
Ooh, definitely the high heads. My favorite is the sour wonder melon because it has a
Okay,
1-to-1-to-1. It's just a really nice sativa.
nice.
Um,
Is that THC, CBD, and THCV, or what's the other?
that is gonna be THC, CBG,
G?
and
Okay,
CBC.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I'll have to try that one out.
It's really nice. I love it.
Awesome. So,
Especially for the gut girlies.
there you go.
got
Oh,
some
so
gut
it does
issues.
help.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, good to know. I have a few
Mhm.
people that would enjoy that. Is edibles your favorite way to consume?
It's one of my favorite ways to consume. I also like to smoke. I like
Yeah.
a little dab every once in a while. I
There you
kind of
go.
dabble in everything.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think that's the best way to do it.
Mhm.
Do you have any favorite strains?
Ooh. Old school lemons. Our old school lemons is one of my favorites. What's another one? The double solo burger as well. That indica.
Okay. I'll have to try that out.
10 out of 10.
All right. So now going from the behind the scenes and now helping patients, what are some, sorry, I just blanked on that question. What have you found that was like something you didn't see coming? So like maybe a struggle you've overcome, like switching to the front side?
I think it's mostly getting used to like the differences between the states that I've worked in.
Mhm. What states have you been a part of?
I've been in Michigan and Nevada
Nevada.
as well. Yeah.
Nice.
So the differences are just like super huge.
Yeah.
There's a lot more information here in Nevada. So it was just getting used to, having all that information and being able to give that to people. It's a very good like, thing to get used to,
Yeah.
but it was definitely something I was like, okay, like there's a lot of stuff here.
Absolutely. I mean, they're testing right here on the packages and
Yes.
everything, or
Mhm.
each of the stickers. I think is great for receipts. You guys have done some really cool events like food drives and veteran things. What is some of the events that you've really enjoyed?
The harvest markets for sure. I
Okay, that's
absolutely
what
love the
Leslie was
harvest.
just talking about.
Yeah, they're
Can
my
you tell us a
favorite.
little bit about more about them? Get people
Um,
excited?
Yeah, so I really enjoy the fact that every time we have one, it's just like a fun time. The live DJ is my favorite because I love music, and just like the amazing deals, everybody coming in and being happy that we've got them,
Absolutely.
and just being able to give people a nice stock up.
Awesome.
For the weekend.
What do you think separates? There's so many dispensaries in Nevada. What do you think separates Deep Roots from the other shops?
I think the customer forward attitude that we have here is something that separates us from a lot of dispensaries. I think we take a lot of time, at least for me, I definitely take a lot of time to make sure that I curate and give people what they're looking for rather than just, selling whatever on the shelf.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very beautiful thing about Deep Roots is that we're able to do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Focus on the customer.
And you can tell that emphasis trickles down because every person I've interviewed, that's the exact thing they said, from marketing to operations, GM to bud tenders. So it's really good that they emphasize that with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shoot. I do apologize. Hold on. You guys are still there. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I don't know why
Technical difficulties.
the sound is still there. Go. There we are. All right. So sorry about that. Glad we didn't lose it for long. I still see people there. Jorge, appreciate the orange sunset. Such a good strain. Do you have a favorite strain, or you already said the lemons and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Favorite way consumes edibles. So a little bit different. Did you ever watch that 70s show? Like
A
back
little
then?
bit. I did. See a little bit
Okay,
of
so
that, yeah.
like the little circle they have, they're all just smoking in the basement.
Mhm.
So you're in a basement, you got 3 friends around or 3 people. They can
Yeah.
be dead, alive, famous or like close relative, friend? Who are the 3 people in your circle?
Ooh, that's a hard question. I'm not gonna lie. Dream smoke circle. I feel like Snoop Dogg definitely has to be one of them. Definitely one of them. Bob Marley.
Oh, there you
Bob
go.
Marley for sure. The third one, Stevie Wonder.
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
that. That'd be just such a fun crowd, and
Yes.
maybe they can play some music together and
Yes. Great
create something
music.
awesome.
Yes.
So being a bud tender, you deal with a lot of patients and so many vast differences from younger to older. Is there any story or patient you've helped that kind of like really touched you, or just you like really made you happy to be in the industry?
Yeah. I feel like there's quite a few. I can't really name like specific people, but I
Yeah,
feel like
don't say the name, more the
oh
story.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there's definitely a few people that come in and they say they're shopping for like maybe their elderly mom or their elderly dad or something like that. And that kind of hits very close to home because I also take care of my grandparents outside of here. So just hearing people, trying to help their help the
Yeah.
elderly with cannabis, finding things to help with arthritis and things like that just really touches me because it hits close to home. It's
Yeah.
something that I also do.
So, let's say bud tender, or it's not bud tender, a patient comes into the shop, they've never consumed before, and they're a little nervous being in the shop. What would you kind of do to guide them?
So I would start with a small education, kind of start slow, kind of explain certain things, maybe terpenes or anything like that. I usually ask what they're trying to feel when they're smoking, and then I go from there based off of that.
Yeah.
If they're looking for flower, if they want something more like an edible, they want just a vape pen or something like that, something discreet. Just kind of depends on the person, but I always, try to curate something for each person based off of what they want.
I love that. So you're not just recommending products, you're listening to what they're looking for and then going from there.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. One thing I've noticed just while we're doing the interview is you got the coolest earrings. So
yeah,
did you
my
make
jars.
them or did you get them? Or like
One
the
of
little
my
jars of cannabis, like
Yes.
at each earring.
um One of my old coworkers, my first dispensary in Michigan, she actually was making them. She made these. I had some little dime bags as well.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
sick.
have them anymore. I'm so sick about it. But she also made some. She covered some actual nugs in resin and made those into earrings
Oh,
as well.
that's sick.
I was so sick that she left before I could get some.
Oh,
So shouts out
that's
to
so
her.
fortunate. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, while interviewing people, I noticed in the cannabis industry, a lot of people have like some side passions, hobbies, maybe some entrepreneurial stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you're working on or
Yeah.
working towards?
Yeah, I am, like I said, really into music. So I do a lot of writing. Cannabis helps a lot with that. Just kind of get the creativity flowing. And then I'm also very into educating about cannabis. And then I have a great group of friends. They throw DJ nights because they're all working on DJing. So they do sets and I curate the highs for everybody.
There you go. I
Yeah,
love
do like a
that.
little infused drink, or I roll something nice, something infused for them.
Send the mood for everybody.
Mhm.
That's incredible. Well, I appreciate it. I don't think do we have anybody else to interview? I believe that might be it. We might see if we have a patient or two. But where can people follow you, or do you want them to just follow Deep Roots? Or
Yeah, you can follow me at Sid's Eye View
there we
on
go.
Instagram.
So there you go, Sid's Eye View. Check it out. Maybe you can catch up to her events and the drink she's making. And just thank you so much for coming on.
Nice to meet you. Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you. I appreciate it. Right? Those things are sick. You got a compliment. Oh, and just push it. Push it. Like that. Go. Awesome. I'm gonna check. Give me like 2 or 3 minutes and make sure there's nobody else coming on. But again, Deep Roots Harvest, fantastic dispensary. They have, if you ever see some of their products, Camp, Neon Moon, and High Heads. So really good. I'm very excited to try these out. That's not going to be here on premise. Does have to be off premise. We are following, all the laws. We love what we do, but we also gotta make sure we do it by the book. So, yeah, Yeah, so give me just 1 second. Let me step outside, make sure that there's nobody else to interview. Be right back. All right, so that was everybody. So we got to interview Matt, who's the director of marketing. We got to interview Haley, who is the GM here at Deep Roots. This is on Parkson. They have, I believe, 4 locations in Nevada. So this is the one on Parkson. We got Leslie, who's the lead bud tender. Incredible. And then we also got Sid, who's one of the bud tenders here, and can tell you a little difference between the Michigan market and the Nevada market. And so I like seeing that. As one thing I love about traveling is seeing all the differences between the markets. So test results being on every receipt, something different. Some dispensaries be able to do deli style compared along with prepackaged. Mints in Tempe was, the cafe. So there's so many differences between all these dispensaries, even in the same city, same state. And it's just incredible to see. So one, thank you to Heidi as well, who helped set this up from PR with Deep Roots. She was so fantastic. There's dispensaries I've gone and talked to. Hey, can I go shoot? She had an itinerary, what time I was going to be here, who was going to greet me, the people I was going to interview. Deep Roots, so professional, so culture focused, and so customer focused. And so really, it was really cool. And so thank you, Jorge, Haley, everybody that's hopped on today. And make sure I will have this cut up into clips and be posting those on YouTube and Instagram, Twitter, etc. So I appreciate it. If you're a dispensary and I am headed to SoCal next. So it'll be San Diego, Orange County, LA, Palm Springs, Joshua Tree. I'll be in those areas from January until May. And then we're going NorCal, Oregon, and Washington after that. So follow along the journey. Got some big things in the works. And again, shout out Deep Roots. If you are in Las Vegas, go to Deep Roots. I appreciate it.